Hi, Romesh Shivastu here, Editor-in-Chief SightsIn Plus. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Please do subscribe this for the HR news, HR updates, and conversation with the top-notch CHROs. Today, we have an opportunity to have the conversation with Dr. C. Jayakumar. He is Executive Vice President and Head Human Resources at L&T. Welcome, Dr. C. Jayakumar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Romesh. Nice to be part of this discussion. Thank you for the invitation.
If I look at your career journey, so you are associated with L&T for 34 years, and you joined the organization in 1988, then got promoted and worked on various profiles and roles. And in mid of 2021, I think you got promoted as Executive Vice President and Head Human Resources at L&T. So my straight question to you is that what motivates you to stay with the same organization for so long? It's very rare.
Nice question, interesting question. In fact, though I have been working in the same organization, Larsen Toubro, for the last 34 and a half years, L&T consists of many independent companies inside. So I have been working in different businesses in different geographies with the different leaders, handling different portfolios in part of HR domain. So for me, I never even thought that I am with the same organization. It was a change. Every 3 years, 3.5 years, I was moving a role or a position or a domain or a location. So for me, it was very, very challenging. Plus, it's a great organization. We are proud to be part of L&T. It's not a one company, one place. Even though it apparently appears that I have stayed in the same organization for long. Yeah, that's what's motivated me, and that was these challenging assignments made me stay with the organization.
Why I asked, because people generally keep changing their job in 2 years, 3 years. That's why it's good. It's good. It's
incidentally, on a lighter side, in one of the conferences my son was attending, I said I'm with the company for the 28 years. When he reached home, my son said, "Daddy, don't tell this everywhere. People will think that you are not getting jobs." That is the millennials view today. Yeah.
After taking over the charge as a group HR head, you can say in 2021, then what has been your vision for the L&T, and what the changes you brought in HR department, especially after taking over the charge?
Yeah. Sir, in fact, I took over as a CHRO exactly in March, 1st of April 2020. Okay. I reported in Bombay somewhere in the mid of February. And then I was supposed to take over from Mr. Yogesh Ram from 1st of April 2020. In fact, in the end of March, that was the lockdown. And it was really, really a very, very never seen before. And what a time to take over such a large organization as CHRO during the lockdown. So literally first 1.5 years went into handling COVID. We had a direct task force. We looking at the safety and welfare of the people, migrant workmen moving away, getting them back. Then went into a big sphere of vaccination of my people. And in fact, we did a whole lot of things in terms of welfare of the employees, welfare of migrant workmen, enhancing the medical schemes, not only taking care of my own workmen, but also providing ventilators and oxygen plants to various other things as a corporate social responsibility. So 2 years, 1.5 years was full packed in that. In terms of vision, we have a strategic plan called Lakshya, which is done for every 5 years. In fact, we have a perspective plan, which is for 10 years. Then based on the perspective plan, we have a Lakshya plan for 5 years. There's a business plan. We have a HR Lakshya plan, which is aligned to this overall business Lakshya plan. So we identify, do a brainstorming, and we identify broad themes in which we have to work into. This time we have looked at some 5-6 broad areas. One is improving our performance management system and linking it to rewards, bringing in more of transparency, trust, etc. Because any company, if you look at a performance management system, they will say the people may not be fully happy with the performance management. So looking at how do I really bring in a real-time performance management system which is linked directly to the rewards. Lot of focus today is on employee experience across the life cycle, right from talent acquisition till onboarding, performance, training, including finally the resignation or the final settlement. So the employee experience is one area which we are working throughout. Then talent management, talent mobility is another big area which we are looking at, how to develop internal talent in terms of building a leadership pipeline, succession planning. And when we have 23 different companies within L&T, how can I move talent across, at least the top talent or the senior talent? So that is one exclusive task force is working on this. We are also always innovative, and we are pioneers in HR practices, looking at alternate talent models. Though we are into EPC, we are into high-tech manufacturing, etc. Traditional company, traditional 80-year-old company, but still we have put a task force to look at what are the new innovative ways of engaging people. Like they are talking about gig economy. People are talking about moonlighting. People are talking so many things. So work from home, flexibility. How can I bring in different talent models? And another major focus area which I'm working is on diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is one big area where we have initiated a scheme called Winspire, where we are looking at the 4 different buckets in which we are how to intake people, how to retain people, how to develop, how to motivate. So all these four pillars which we are working in, and many new schemes which I have introduced, predominantly focusing on hiring more trainees. In fact, in this year campus recruitment, I recruited 30% as trainees. Earlier it was hardly 5%, 6%. Over the year, they say 30% of my campus recruitment were female. So we looking at how to recruit more female employees, increasing the diversity. In terms of cultural diversity, we have people from 80 odd countries. Okay, we have people speaking different 56, 60 languages people are speaking, and we culturally we are a diverse organization. When it comes to diversity, because of EPC and manufacturing, we are slightly low. We are trying to improve that percentages. We have also introduced a scheme called Renew, where we try to bring in the women employees who took a career break because of pregnancy, childbirth, marriage. They have a break in between. And these people, we have a special scheme called Renew, which is there in our career portal. They apply, through which we have taken. Just now, somebody asked for a statistic. I found around 2 to 3% of the women employees have been recruited to this Renew platform. And very recently, in just last week, we have released some of the policies for the women employees, which is some of the benefits. Maybe very, very small thing, but it gives a lot of encouragement, and it makes a feel that the management is concerned about. For all the pregnant women, if they are there, we provided a special ergonomically designed chair, which comfortable seat resting, etc. for them. The last 3 months of the pregnancy, we cannot have work from home because we are a construction industry, we are a EPC industry.
Absolutely.
But still, if they are pregnant, the last 3 months, we have allowed them to go for work from home, or even before. Every office, we have brought in a wellness room where there's a comfortable seating, refrigerator, and all this for feeding mother and etc. We have kept. We ensured all the transport facility for all the women employees if they are late sitting after 8 p.m. So the return travel is reimbursed, taxi fare is reimbursed. We are throughout the country, we are there. A lot of travel takes place. In terms of travel, first preference for the women employees, the transit house, our own accommodation. Then if it is not there only, then we go for, so preference for like that. It may be small things, but whole lot of things we have done in this. The next major focus I have done is digital transformation. Sir, I can talk about it little later in HR. We can go to the next topic.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing the initiative which I have taken. Because just the 2023 is started, so I would like to check with you that what you see that what are going to be the top HR challenges for the CHROs in this year.
The HR challenges for CHRO first and foremost will be the talent, sir. Getting the right talent, okay? Getting the leadership talent, specialized talent, senior talent. This will be the biggest focus for any of the HR manager where they are the growing business, because a lot of opportunities are available today, and so getting the talent is one. Next thing is being a trusted advisor of the CEO, because the change is very, very constant. Being agile and adaptable, how as an HR you become a trusted advisor for them in terms of the structure, process, policies, etc. Based on the changing situation, how you take care of that. That is the second biggest thing. Lot of automation has happened, digitalization has happened, new ways of working has come. So you have an existing manpower. So skilling, reskilling, multi-skilling, and bringing them up to speed. That is another area. One is getting the new talent, and existing talent training and all those things. This is now a lot of focus has come after the pandemic on work from home and flexibility in working. So how do you manage that? Achieving in an EPC type of sector, how do you bring in flexibility in work? How do you bring in a purpose? How do you bring in an attachment, engagement of people within the organization so that they strive and achieve more? So employee engagement is another area. Now people are looking at learning opportunities. How do I provide a lot of learning opportunities for them in the organization, so that there is a retention. People stay with that. L&T is known as learning and training organization. We have whole lot of opportunities for learn, not only through the learning courses, training, or digital learning. It is also through a challenging assignments which is being given to the employees. So the focus is, challenge will be first is how do I get the best talent? How do I train, retrain, and skill them and keep them up to date in terms of competency, in terms of requirement? Third, how do I engage and motivate them? Because a lot of flexibility and other things is required today. This also includes employee well-being, emotional, mental, social, all type of well-being. How do I ensure that? Because after COVID, this has become a top priority. And finally, how do I provide them a lot of learning opportunities and challenging assignments so that they stay with the organization and with a purpose and flexibility? So these are some 4-5 key areas.
Right. So currently we see a lot of buzzwords right now, maybe like moonlighting, quiet quitting, career cushioning. So how do you see in your industry, this is limited to the IT or tech industry, or that is also with your industry, manufacturing, EPC, and other?
It's a very interesting area of moonlighting, which according to it's my personal views, and it's not my company's view. It has been there for long. Okay, even in fact, I'll tell you, my father-in-law used to tell me, at those days I was so difficult. I go to office, come back, then I went and worked there in the part time. Then I used to make some money with based on which only I married the 3 of my daughters. So that time it was called as a value system, right? I work here, I work there, I work here. But now what has happened, because of the remote working, and suddenly the people started taking multiple offers from different organization, and if there's a conflict of interest, so then it becomes a problem. One is if you have signed an offer letter with the organization that I will taking up this employment and I am not going to work anywhere else, you are agreeing, then you are going against that. Plus, there should not be a conflict of interest. So if both are not there, then it is fine. If there's a conflict of interest and if you're going against the legal terms which you have signed, then I think it is not morally, it is not right. But things are changing. We have to have an open mind. We cannot say that it is not possible. So we have to look at various ways how to do that. One way is move to a gig-based system. and change your performance management system. If your performance management is going to reward effort, then you have to have a full-time 8 hours he has to work, 10 hours you have to work. If you're going to, your performance management is based on outcome, then what is the problem? He completes it in 3 hours, 4 hours. This is the KRA, this is what you have achieved. If he can measurable and if he can achieve that within that, I think a gig type of a work can take place. So we have to be a little open. We cannot totally say it is not possible, but it should definitely there should not be a conflict of interest. Definitely there should not be a violation of legal binding. So it should be done in a fair and a proper, transparent manner. Hope I answered your.
So, as you also said that it is almost across the industry, and this is the problem which is related with the employee engagement. So, right now, the employee engagement problem is across the industry and across the sector. So, how do you ensure that your employees remain engaged and the employee performance and productivity in 2023 in your organization?
So it's a interesting question. First and foremost, if I look at my organization, how I make people engaged is one is the purpose, right? The company which they are working for. We are called as builders to the nation. We make things that make India proud. All the roads, bridges, transport, metros, tallest statue, longest bridge, deepest caravan. If you take anything, because the biggest stadium which is constructed by us, so that gives a natural pride, right? And that too in the construction industry, you make a stadium. Not only you, your wife, your children, and your grandchildren will be telling that my grandfather has done this stadium, right? So that is the pride and purpose which is associated that retains people with us. Because second is a challenging assignment. Every assignment is different. Every time they are breaking their own records. That gives a lot of motivation and engagement for people to stay with us and work. One project is over, then he moved to another project, which is more challenging. So you asked me, how did you remain in L&T? Every step was different. So I was there in Goa, Karwar, Kaiga Atomic Power Project. From there, I came as a regional in charge. Then I wanted a bigger responsibility. I took over as a regional HR manager for the northern region, whole Delhi. That's what 2002 to 2007 I was there. Then I became a head for one of the companies. Then I moved to a startup company. Then I was posted in Middle East. So every time there's a challenging assignment. Third is the learning opportunities which we get. L&T is also known as learning and training company. We have more than 18, 19 training centers, right from my learning and development academy at Lonavala. We have a constructions technology technical training academy at Mad as well as in Mysore. We have a project management institute. It is like a typical university. I have a dean, I have a deputy dean in Vadodara as well as I am in Chennai, where we do all the project management programs at different levels. We have a safety innovation school. We have the rail training academy, tunneling academy, and at a grassroots level, construction skills training institute, which is across the country, more than 9 to 10 construction skills training institute where carpenter, barbender, fitter, everybody, we take people from NGO, put them through a structured program, then send them to site. After a period, again, bring them back for next level. So purpose, challenging assignment, a lot of learning opportunities. Then another thing is we are also, though we are in a brick and mortar industry, manufacturing industry, we went into a massive digitalization drive. So we have automated most of the latest processes we have brought in. As a construction industry, we may have more than 9,000, 10,000 crores of machineries. Every machinery is fitted with an RFID and sensor. So the entire data comes to the headquarters. It is used for preventive maintenance, ensuring how much of fuel utility, how much of productivity is happening. All those things is done. For workmen, we have got something called a Visa app, which is like a Uberization of workmen. Just a workman has to send a missed call to a number. Our people contact and get them. Whoever comes inside, we have recorded them with their Aadhaar card and other things. So we know whenever we require, any site requires a number, they have to just contact that app and immediately they get the workman. Then if we are using drones for the survey, for example, if drones we are using for survey, we use something called ProQ for our planning equipment. So the whole process is digitalized. We took a lot of effort. It is the vision of our CEO and MD, Mr. S.N. Subramaniam, who has driven this personally. So to bring it to this, why I said this motivates a lot of people who are to join us, because today there is a flat to join a technology company. So we are also transforming into a technology company. Whole lot of technology is being used. So people get motivated to work here. In fact, we have done a 1+1 building using 3D printing in Kanchipuram in Chennai. So that is how every advancement takes place. We have B&F Fast, which we has constructed some 90 buildings, one flat a day or 3 flats a day, like that. It is the speed in which we construct. So these are all some of the, and above all, the autonomy, freedom to work, freedom to learn from the mistake, the leadership. All these things are the prime motivators for people to be engaged and work for us. We have 7 directors, sir. All the 7 directors have joined us as a trainee or a supervisor, and they have gone up through the rank and come up. Even my CEO, Mr. S.N. Subramaniam, he joined as a trainee and has grown up. A.M. Naik joined as a supervisor and he has become the head of the organization. So if you perform, there is a scope to grow. I joined as an assistant time office supervisor. So now I have become the CEO, CHR. So there is enough scope to grow. Yeah.
So, Dr. C. Jayakumar, as you were also talking about the performance management in one of your initiative. So, the regular feedback, that is also very important when you are talking about the performance of employees. So, my question is that how to give the effective employee feedback, that is also very important. Second, if you can also include that what factors that should be included when the managers are providing the feedback, having the conversation with the employees.
Very nice question, which has been answered from so many years together. People are trying to answer this question, how to give performance feedback, because this is the weakest link of every performance system. Any company, if you see, the weakest link of the system is the feedback. It is, so we do a lot of work in terms of training people, training our staff in giving as well as receiving feedback. But today with the traditional thing is, you get a goal setting, then you do a midterm review, then you do an year-end appraisal, and you give a feedback, and then you do the next year. But today there are a whole lot of systems and processes have come, and your technology has come today, including for continuous feedback. So if there is a goal, it can be cascaded down to your people, and each goal can be divided into different activity, and for the activity you can have a timeline, milestones to achieve, and it's all automated. It is in your mobile. So for each thing there can be a continuous feedback and receiving and giving of feedback, which can be done where system it is enabled. So, but the thing is, for an organization of our size or any organization, it is easy to go and buy a software and try to implement it. Okay, it is a cost. But how do you bring the culture of giving that feedback?
Absolutely.
That is very, very difficult. That is where it is most difficult, because people are literally not very comfortable in giving a constructive or if it is, so they avoid, and finally at the year-end appraisal, it becomes as a issue. But we have done a lot of work in this area. We have introduced the system of continuous feedback. We religiously follow up that, and we have also ensured that in the midterm reviews are done, there is a dashboard available for that. And as a principle of I think you are also asking some of the principles in which the feedback to be given, right? So I strongly feel timing is very, very vital. So you cannot reserve it for the midterm review or the year end. So it has to be continuous. And before you give a feedback, I feel you have to check whether the person is ready to accept the feedback, right? It is unless the person is ready to receive a feedback, giving a feedback is not effective. Better, I always suggest, start with the positive. feedback should be particularly on a particular behavior and not on a person. Many times we make this mistake. We say that somebody, if he says, if somebody keeps on making a mistake, you tell them you are making mistake repeatedly every time. And when you are doing these things, why can't you sit with somebody and understand this? Instead of that, if you say that your IQ is low, you have to do something, then you are hitting the person. So typically tell what has gone wrong, what is to be done, how it can be improved. Very, very specific to the matter it should be given. Timing of the feedback is also very, very important, sir. So better do it immediate, do it constructive, do it with an intention of the person to improve, find out whether the person is readily able to accept, and finally it should be given in the whole intention is to improve the person's performance, and the person should feel good about it.
When we talk about the feedback, when team is doing good, then it is very easy to say that is excellent, you have done the good job. Problem is when there's a few things which need to be improved, then how to inform or how to have the conversation with the team and let them know that these are the points where you need to work and how you can improve the performance here. So that is very important point, I think so.
Agree. So first of all, it should be data based. It cannot be an impression. Okay.
Right.
You have to very descriptively tell what was the behavior you observed, why it is not right, and what is to be done for that, and how you can help him in doing this. And not that a general statement, your reports are not good, you are slower, your IQ is slow. These are all attacking a person. That is not okay. You give with the data based. So today with the systems available, so it starts from your goal setting. If your goal is very clear, which is objective, measurable, that is a smart goal, and a specific, measurable, achievable. If you have a smart goal, and if it is measured appropriately and constructively based on that, it should be given. And finally, ask the person whether he understood the feedback and then what support you require. That is more important.
One personal question to you. After the experience of 34, 35 years, you look so energetic and dynamic. So what is your work-life balance mantra? How do you manage this?
Thank you very much for the compliment, sir. It is always a reciprocation. The opposite side, you are so energetic and you are suited and good at, so that gave 50% of my energy to speak. And it is my, I literally enjoy sharing my views across. So that's why whenever we ask for a panel discussion or for some other thing, I never, in spite of all the hectic schedule, somehow I manage some time and speak to them. Because to be very candid, every interaction is a learning. Even if it is you're coming to you half an hour, you may ask 3-4 questions, but still my mind has to work and prepare, right? I cannot just like that come and sit and, yes, Mr. Ramesh, tell me. So that is a learning. That's where I consolidate my thoughts. When you asked, what do you think is the CHRO challenge? At least I have to think and do that. That's a mutually beneficial thing, sir. So thank you for the opportunity you have given to me.
So next, I would like to know that what are your hiring plans for this year?
Sir, today we are at an order backlog of 3,75,000 crores. So the biggest challenge is executing these jobs on time within the cost, quality, safety to the satisfaction of the customers. Our target, generally we go, our manpower planning is based on the volume of work and the productivity, what is required, etc. Most of our hiring is done through campus recruitment. So last time itself, I did more than 3,000 people. Twice I went to campuses and I recruited people and onboarded them. This time also equal amount of people will be recruited through campus. Balance recruitment will be mostly at a senior level, will be only through areas which are new to us. If we are entering into edutech, we are already not entering, we are into SUFIN, supply chain and finance. Which is like an Amazon for engineering goods. We are into data center business. We have gone into green hydrogen, manufacturing of electrolyzers, batteries, and EPC for that type of business. So these new areas, we recruit people at a little middle or a senior level. Otherwise, most of my recruitment at a junior level from campuses. We build our own timber, like you recruit them, train them, mold them, and take them up.
So last, I would like to know what is your career advice for the aspiring HR professionals?
I'm not that big to give advice, but first and foremost, I feel you have to be strong in your domain. Please get into the details of the domain. Right from when I say HR professional, I'm starting about young HR professionals who are doing their PG or program or just entered into this. And learning agility is very much required today. Learning has to be a continuous process. So I always say digital mindset and learning agility has to be there today. So look at how you can automate, how you can use technology, how you can this, and learning newer things. That is the second thing. Nothing like hard work. Nothing comes easy. Put your full effort, dedication, etc. to come up in life, and be humble, sir. These are the 4 simple things to do. Understand your job, understand your domain, put hard work, learning agility and digital mindset, and be humble.
So thank you so much, Dr. C. Jayakumar, for joining us and having the conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity, Ramesh. Looking forward. Thank you.